All right, and we are back after the debate. I've got sunshine in my face because you know what? It is a bright, beautiful day. It is magnificent. I did not expect this. I was wrong. I'm going to admit it. I was wrong about one very important point here in this debate. Joe Biden was not juiced up. Joe Biden had, I'm going to say, zero. He was not on point. He had zero cognitive ability. I believe that Joe Biden lost this debate the moment he opened his mouth. He was speaking like a lunatic. He was speaking like an idiot. Look, I want to hear your guys' opinion about the debate, your perspective. So throw some super chats. We've got Half Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company says, I told you the play CNN is burying Biden. I told you the play, he says. CNN is burying, but use punctuation, guys, so I can read your text appropriately. I told you the play. CNN is burying Biden. They just ended his career. New blood is on the way before the election. I disagree. I think they're going to stick with Biden. I'm still sticking with my guns. I may be wrong, but that's what I think.
I have a different outlook on this debate, Chris.
Well, let me read the other super chats, and then we'll jump to your analysis. Ian says Pedo Pete was bombing, and Uncle Donnie was dropping bombs. I mean, one sounded like me after 7 old fashions and a large blunt. The other was Trump. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Demon Slayer jumps in. He says Biden looked like a trout all debate mouth. Yeah. He was like this.
Yeah.
He looked. I called him zombified. I'll go ahead and read through the tweets that I wrote, but I do want to hear Jason's perspective. So, Jason, let's hear what you got to say about this.
So, audience, you're gonna hate me for this. I'm probably gonna playing devil's advocate here, but it was a victory for Biden on one issue for me. For me. Tell me if you disagree.
Okay.
I mean, Biden looked bad. It was a bad look for Biden. I agree.
I will say I disagree already.
He looked decrepit. He looked bad. He was juiced up. It just doesn't work anymore. And
maybe
Trump had a few booms. Trump had a few good ones there. I have to give it to him.
A few mic drop moments.
And Chris and I were talking about this on the phone because my wife was like, "Oh, Trump is doing so good." But me and Chris were talking about this, and I guess maybe the majority of people think Trump won, but there's one thing that the Biden team had a victory on. The Biden strategy I figured out tonight was to keep off the economy, and they succeeded.
No, they didn't.
Yes. Trump, at his final statement, should have pushed it into Biden and the audience and the people.
They didn't really go into much into inflation. They kept that kind of light.
Okay, at the end, Biden was talking about how about the economy, how the tax cuts and this and that, and how he's going to save the economy. Trump should have came back at the ending statement saying that everything that Biden has done has raised everything. It's killed the middle class. Yeah, it's raised everything. So like his economy stunk, and my economy was one of the greatest economies, and I think the Biden campaign succeeded in that.
Nah, I don't. I mean, come on. We didn't talk about economy enough. Trump talked about the economy enough. It wasn't as much as maybe he would have liked, but I mean, come on. Even when Biden was saying boilerplate things, he was so zombified that he would lose. I'm going to read the tweets that I posted whilst I was live tweeting the whole thing. But Lauren Smart jumps in with a comment that I think is appropriate because this was a debate that you and I had before the debate. I predicted that the CNN moderators would try to seem neutral. They would try to seem like they were, fair, right? That would, I knew they wouldn't be 100% fair, but I thought they would at least try to seem fair, and they would be more fair than people would expect. And what do we have here? Lauren Smart says CNN was more fair to Trump than I thought. Jason, did they reach the level of bias that you expected?
I think your prediction was spot on that.
Thank you, sir.
They did sway
Thanks.
towards Biden a little more because they let Biden reply way more than they let Trump. They cut
Oh,
off Trump more, you know.
well, I
But
think every time they
overall,
cut off, yeah.
overall, I mean, it wasn't like previous debates, so I'll give them that.
Mhm. I think that they actually did Biden a favor every time they cut him off, and they did Trump a disservice every time they cut him off. So the 1 minute time limit really screwed up Trump because he had these great points he was trying to make, and then he'd get cut off before he could finish them. Biden was like, and he'd start mumbling and trailing off and rambling, and then they'd go, okay, that's enough, Joe Biden. Okay, we'll go to Trump. You know, so they were basically saving Biden every time they would call the 1 minute limit, and they were screwing Trump. So that 1 minute limit, I mean, that Trump agreed to it, so it wasn't really unfair in the sense that, you know, he did agree to it, but it did definitely advantage Biden, even though, how much advantage did Biden really have? He looked less like a moron. Okay. Stephen Rhodes jumps in for $5. Thank you, Stephen. He says, I learned from the debate that the Adderall, B12, and Hunter's Coke residue from 16 Pennsylvania Avenue did not help Dementia Joe tonight. Well, you know what? It almost seemed like they didn't give him anything. I was starting to think, like, maybe people are right. Maybe this is intentional. Maybe they're trying to, like, steamroll Trump or steamroll Biden right out of there.
Man, Chris, I don't think it's working. I don't think the medication is working anymore.
They may have pumped him up and it didn't work. I thought for sure that they would pump him up at the end at least, but no, nothing. Codini writes.
Go ahead.
Go on. Yeah. No.
I think he's far gone. I think he's so messed up.
He's too far gone.
Yeah.
You may be right. Codini, $5 says at least Biden did not. I think he meant did not crap his pants. We don't know that, Codini. We don't know that. There is no evidence to indicate that Joe Biden did not crap his pants during this debate. In fact, I should tweet that. That's such a brilliant observation on my part.
Adult diapers are really great now.
I know. Yeah. Well, did he poop his pants? Depends. Sven M jumps in with $5 and he writes, succeed, people will notice it again the next time they go shopping. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, how much do you have to push something that everybody sees every single day? Everybody sees the effects of inflation every single day.
Let me say, here's the reason why I think Trump won this debate. And I'm not gonna say, like, I think the strategy that I said is fair about Biden, but the one reason why I think Trump won this debate is it's what we're saying. Biden just looked so bad. So bad.
It was shocking. I mean, it was literally shocked. I was shocked.
It's
because I just watched him talk about the gun control thing and he sounded 1,000 times better. I don't know how this happened.
Just the opening. Like
the moment he opened his mouth.
Oh man, I thought Biden was going to be hyped up on these drugs, and it's not like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so it was Trump. I'm sorry. My son is like knocking on my door. He's so excited for Trump.
Okay, you can let him in. Let him in. Bring him on the show. I want to see your kid on the show.
He's got to go to bed. I just think it's not because of Trump is why Trump won. I think it's more because of Biden, and that's a smart strategy. Yeah. Just let Biden.
But I
mess
do.
Himself
but listen, credit where credit's due. Trump, dare I say it, was presidential today.
Oh yes,
Trump was presidential.
Which is great.
He spoke within the time limit. He was quiet when it was Biden's turn. He simply stated his case. The only moment that was a little petulant was the golf score, and it was actually kind of a funny when he said, "That's the biggest lie of all." That's the biggest lie of all, which was actually quite funny. But the problem was that Joe Biden then went into this sort of like weird, no, but seriously though, my golf score was, my handicap was an 8. Yeah. I mean, a 6 or 8 or something.
I like the reply Trump did.
And then Trump was like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then he's just like, you know what? Let's not act like children. That got a little weird. I didn't think that looked particularly good for Trump, to be honest. Hold on. My brother's just texting me like crazy. He writes, CNN is in a panic. and the Democrat elites need to replace Biden. Pretty much the whole panel. They're shocked because I'm not watching CNN, so I don't know. My brother's updating me. They're shocked because they've never seen him weak and babbling before. It's the first. This is what I was telling you. Actually, I was telling him privately. I was telling Jason privately that like he's like, I don't know. I don't know if like Trump won as big as we think. And I'm like, dude, I don't think most Democrats have ever seen Biden like this. Like we see Biden like this.
Yeah.
But CNN hides this, so the regular audience has never seen him like this. My brother Nick writes, they're shocked because they've never seen him weak and babbling before. It's a first, never happened before. Biden was solid, and until this debate, he writes, which is obviously nonsense, but that's what they think. CNN just threw Biden under the bus, turned around and backed over him again and again.
Check this out. Out. Andrew Yang, who ran against Biden.
I know Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wrote his ex was, look, I debated Joe 7 times in 2020. He's a different guy in 2024. # swap Joe out.
No, so many. I mean, Gorka kept sending me over and over again different leftists going, holy crap, what's happening right now? Like Biden's just getting obliterated. Like even hardcore leftists are seeing this and talking about it. Like this is a moment. I want to read my tweets, but let me read some of your super chats here real quick. Marion Cousy gives us $5, but she didn't write a super chat. So if you want us to read whatever it is that you said, sometimes it's hard to get the super chats out because the way that it's set up. So Jason will look for your text. Hot Power Concrete and Simplified Crawfish Company says CNN is full out calling for someone else right now in their post debate talk. Yeah, that's my brother just said. Thank you, man. And MMA Fix just wrote, Biden had less energy than my granny, and she's dead.
And she'll also
MMA Fix. You got to be the third host now.
Hey, MMA Fix. She's absolutely going to vote for him, though.
Marion Cozy, another $2. Thank you so much, but we're not getting your message for some reason. Mike Anderson, $5. Didn't get your message. Sorry about that, man, but we appreciate the super chat. And if you guys want to say something, go ahead and give us a super chat. We'll mention it on the air. I am going to read my live tweets because I think they're all brilliant and poignant. And let me just say, this is something I didn't tweet because I thought it was a little bit too arrogant, but I will say it on the air because, I am a narcissist. I think I was spot on. The pre-debate speculation and predictions, I think I got just about every single thing. I think every single point I predicted was mentioned at some point during the debate. Maybe not in the exact order that I presented it, but pretty close, actually. I think I got literally everything. There was only one thing that I think I missed, and Jason pointed it out. They have this weird argument that Joe Biden tried to prevent illegal immigrants crossing the border, but the Republicans stopped his bill on the orders of Donald Trump. I kind of forgot about that one because it's such a dumb point.
I completely forgot that, but that was the reason why they passed that bill, because they know the Republicans would have. I think it was all for this.
Because it was a crap bill, but they
talking
want to be able to say that they tried. Yeah. It's such a dumb thing. I forgot about it. That's the only thing I think I missed. Everything else, I think, and also the golf scores. Everything else, I think I predicted exactly. I don't think I've ever predicted anything so well in my life. I'm so like impressed with myself. I mean, I did a little research before this. So
yeah, you did good. You did good.
Thank you, sir. Mike Anderson jumps in $5. He says, love the show, Mr. Reagan. Do you think Sleepy Joe's handlers will give him ice cream after this defeat? No ice cream for you, Joe. No ice cream this time. Maybe next time if you do better.
One person writes, honestly, I was sleepy at this debate, and I remember texting you, oh, Chris, man, I'm getting bored at one point.
Yeah, you wrote, I'm getting bored. You actually inspired one of my tweets because I was like, you're right. This is getting boring. It's like watching a football game where just like one team just completely dominates. You start to get bored. When I was in college, my college team, because I went to University of Miami, they were so dominant that year. I used to root for the other team, and my classmates would get all pissed off at me. I'm like, come on, guys. I at least wanted to be close. Like, this is boring, That's what this debate was like. It was like a massacre, man. It was a bloodbath, to use Trump's term. CRX Joe, $10. Thank you so much, man. He writes, that was embarrassing. Trump destroyed Biden. Trump 2024. Trump was so good. I don't want to take anything from Trump, but let's be fair. Biden destroyed himself. But I think Scott Adams wrote something like, "We're watching Joe Biden slowly die on television, or like live on TV or something like that." It was pretty funny. Gain Stage $2 writes, "Corn Pop is a mumbling dude."
Yeah, he actually did like mess up a lot. And
it was
the delay worked out, and them cutting it. You noticed that was the other thing I noticed. Like when he would start mumbling and stuff, the moderators would like cut him off and say, "Oh, thank you, Biden," and then go to Trump. I don't know if anybody.
Well,
else
but I think
that
was the minute. I think that was the minute thing. I think the minute. That's what I was saying. I think the minute time limit helped Biden, because by the time he was mumbling, they could cut him off and be like, "Oh, your minute's up," and like save him.
And they did it in several important points where he was really going like his brain was like all mixed up. So it saved him. Okay,
Eric Wade posts a very strange super chat. I don't really understand this, but it's pretty funny. He says Trump should have challenged Biden to ditch Dr. Jill, and marry a supermodel. That would be so cruel. Listen, Joe, we both know your wife's pretty mid. Why don't you do what I did and just marry a supermodel? Because that's what bosses do.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty hardcore. You know what's funny about what he's saying? Sorry to interrupt, but I honestly felt kind of bad for Joe. I literally felt bad for him. I know he's corrupt. I know he's a criminal. I can't stand the guy. But man, I was almost like sympathetic. Like I almost felt sorry for the guy.
It's our natural Christian, feelings
empathy,
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because so me as well. But then I would think, no, this guy's evil. Nah, screw it.
Evil. We shouldn't feel bad for evil people. But that's our Christian heart. You're 100% right.
Somebody wrote, it's not a super chat, but somebody wrote this, which I'm. Is this true? Did I miss this? Biden called illegal aliens. Is this true? Did this happen?
Oh, I didn't catch that either. Oh, good call. Yeah. You see, I always miss the headline thing. I always miss it.
I don't know. We have to find out.
I believe it. Because it's an easy slip. It's an easy slip. All right, so let me go ahead and just read my live tweets here. I wrote the very first thing I wrote. This is the very first thing after Biden spoke. I wrote, Biden looks bad. That was the first thing. That was the first impression that I had watching this thing. And then I wrote, Trump is killing it, totally presidential. And then I wrote, oh, this is a bloodbath. And then I've got, I retweeted one of Sebastian Gorka's tweets, which was, did Biden really just say many American women are being raped by their brothers and sisters? That was a weird moment, right? He was like, forget the illegal immigrants.
Yeah,
they're being sexually assaulted by their brother. It was like the weirdest thing, right?
Yeah,
I didn't really even understand that. And I think at one point, pretty early on, Trump goes, I didn't understand what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he understands what he said. Let me respond to that. I mean, it was great. I mean,
I felt Trump needed to do more of that. It's just there was some points where I was like, what is he saying?
Actually, when Trump would say things like that, I'd just be like, dude, we can see it. You don't need to call it out. Like when Trump would be like, this guy has cognitive decline. He can't function. I'd be like, Trump, don't say that. We can see it. It's better to show than to tell. Just keep quiet about that. Just be you. Show the contrast, and people will see it. Because I felt like it was punching down. I think it made people feel more bad for Biden. I feel like CRX Joe jumped in with $5. He writes,
go ahead.
My woman distracted me, and I didn't get to hear you respond to my last post. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'll go back. Go. What an embarrassing. Trump destroyed Biden. Trump 2020. That was embarrassing. What did we say about that? I don't even remember.
Oh.
You're going to have to go back and watch. I don't remember what we said, but you're 100% right.
My memory is just as bad as Biden's, people. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Sven M jumped in with $5. He said, yes, he did call them illegal aliens at least once. I distinctly remember being astonished.
Oh.
Well,
the leftists
fantastic.
are going to go crazy on him now. They're going to eat their own tomorrow.
But I think Biden has just joined the Republican Party.
Yeah, exactly.
He's clearly a white supremacist, MAGA extremist. It's pretty crazy.
Speaking of the illegal aliens, that's one thing that upsetted me about Trump. he didn't say the names of the murder victims. That really upset me. That was that would have been a big win right there.
He did tell the story. It's a little difficult because I think the name, especially if one of the girls is kind of difficult to pronounce and remember. And that's not like a fault of Trump's. It's not a fault of the little girls. That's just the way it is. She's just got a kind of difficult name to remember. So I think he was thinking of this little girl and he couldn't remember her name. So I would have done the same. I'm kind of crap with names if I'm honest. But you can drill that. You know what I mean? You can like drill it and get it in your head, like, okay, this girl's name, and he probably should have done that.
It would have been much more powerful. I mean, what he did was good, but it would have been way more powerful with the name.
Oh, I mean, I think it was powerful. I think you're picking at nits at this point. CRX Joe jumps in with another $10 just to say it's all good. We love you, CRX Joe. Thank you so much, brother. Dame Frodo Lives jumps in. She says, my favorite from Trump, I wish. The line, I wish you were good. I wish you were a good president, he said. I would go home and relax, and I wish you were a good president. Look, I wrote that. I think at the very end, that was my last thing. I'll read it in my text here, in my tweets. But that to me was the line of the night. That was the mic drop moment. To say, Biden, honestly, I wish I wasn't running. Yeah. I wish you were a good president. Then I wouldn't have to be here. I just thought that was gold because it wasn't an attack. And it was sort of like a father telling his son, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, which is like the worst thing a father could say to a son.
And not only that, like he also put in his trials with that, because he was like, if he wasn't running, he wouldn't be persecuted by all these courts and all that.
True that. And he really did nail that. And I thought he did a good job talking about that, how unfair that was. Let me read this other super chat before you jump in. Adventures with Edna, $5. Thank you, Edna. Says, Trump walked off stage like a boss. Jill came out to help Joe down the steps. Yeah. Again, another little sad moment. But you're 100% right. The contrast is glaring. Go for it, Jason. What are you going to say?
So another point, this was in early on, which I was like, my eyes were like, Biden's not actually doing this. He's not actually saying this. That he actually brought up the illegal murders to defend abortion
himself.
That
he brought it up.
Yeah,
that was like insane.
First, you're bringing up illegal aliens while you're president killing people. Then you're bringing up people killing babies.
That was pretty early on. Yeah, that was mental.
Yeah, I was like, man. That was wild for me. I was like, "What? This guy?"
That's what dementia does.
Supposed to come out. Yeah.
No, exactly. Let's see here. Okay, shoot. How am I going to say this guy's name? Kaiser Cube. Okay, that was easy. Kaiser Cube, $5. Thank you, man. He writes, I was in another live chat watching the debate. We had to drink every time Biden said the idea, and now I'm totally plastered. The idea. Did he say that a lot? I didn't even notice. The idea. Okay.
Yeah. He did repeat a lot of words. It was annoying.
Yeah, well, that's him. Somebody by the name of Fart Sausage, respect for that name, says now they will put him in Rikers. Well, yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, they're going to put Trump in prison. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I mean, this is the country we live in. We live in Soviet Russia. That's where we live. We live in the Soviet Union, you guys. That's where we live now. Unbelievable. Well, thank you, Fart Sausage, for that. What's funny? It's like his name's Fart Sausage, but such a brilliant observation. So true. And a really good point to make. Sven M., who I can only imagine is Swedish, wrote, and he brought up Afghanistan too. Well, that's right. Oh, you mean Biden brought up Afghanistan? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Did you notice that? That he was the one that brought up Afghanistan?
No. Well,
I'll be honest. Occasionally when Biden would speak, as Biden would speak sometimes, I would actually kind of zone out a little bit because it was just so like rah, 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 rah. It was hard to like listen to. You'd get a text or something and you'd zone out.
Most of his
CRX Joe comes in with another $20. He says everyone needs to vote for Trump. Love your show. Keep spreading the truth. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much, CRX Joe. And you're 100% right. Everybody needs to vote. And Trump keeps pushing this message, which is that he's got enough votes. He's just got to make sure that we track the votes and we make sure it's all fair. We make sure it's all legal. We make sure it's all legitimate. There are no extra votes. There's no votes that are taken out. So just, be vigilant. If you see something, say something. Pay attention at the polls. Obviously, vote early if you can. and hopefully we can make sure that they're not allowed to cheat in 2024. That's really the goal right now. All right, we've got Mike Sexton 72 jumps in $5. He says Biden is no longer going to be the Democrat candidate after this debate. Well, that is the theory of a lot of people. And on this show, I keep pushing against this, and I say, no, he is the perfect puppet. They're never going to lose him because they just pull his strings and he does whatever they say. Sign this, Joe. Okay. And he just signs it with his zombie hand, So that's my theory. I'm totally convinced of that. I might be wrong. I mean, this is the test, isn't it? This is the test. If they don't replace him now, they're not replacing him because this was so brutal. This was so brutal. It's very obvious he cannot compete right now.
Guess what, Chris? I think there's going to be a second debate. Most definitely there's going to be I think so. I think Biden has to. I think the Biden people have to redeem themselves. They managed. I'm going to say it again. They managed to keep the argument pretty much away from the economy, which was a plus for them, which I think was the only plus for them at the night tonight. But he looked just so bad. What he was talking, the way he was talking, like they're going to need a second one. Definitely going to need a second one.
Hold on. You make an excellent point. You make an excellent point. I do think we should have another one like very close to the actual election, and Trump should just do exactly what he did again. All right, Mauricio 21. Mauricio 91. I pulled a Biden there. Mauricio 91, $5. He says, guys, remember, if you don't know, right? If you are for Trump and not Biden, I think is what he meant. Well, then you ain't black. And you're right. So I guess I'm not black. All right. So I'm assuming Mauricio is black. Mauricio 91. Thank you for jumping in there. Yes, it's true. Mauricio 91 is not black, and every black person that votes for Trump is not black. So welcome to the white race, gentlemen. I would say ladies and gentlemen, but come on, let's be real. There's no black women that's going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Except your wife.
Well, my wife's not black American. Well, she's not.
That's true.
Born in the United States. She's
Dominican. She's
Dominican, but she is American, of course. She is a United States citizen. Forgive me, wife. She loves this country. She is gonna vote for Trump because she wants to.
But anyway, all those blacks, the black Americans that vote for Trump, welcome to the white race. We welcome you with open arms.
Yep.
And you get all of our white privilege now as well. So that's nice. It'll be more difficult for you to get into colleges. You'll find it more difficult to get into jobs, and you won't be cast in Hollywood films now. So good for you. All right. CRX Joe jumps over $5. He says, if he is the candidate, he will lose for sure. And that is the catch-22 right now, isn't it? Because I think everybody realizes that now, but I still think the deep state wants to keep him. I don't like, how are they going to switch him out? How are they going to switch it? That would be okay. Just as I turn the camera lighting down, now I get clouds, of course. Okay.
Well, somebody writes, Biden did okay. The format helped, as did the moderators. Yeah, but that's not
of course.
Good. That doesn't look good on his end. Like if he
you're
just
right,
did
because I think everybody does see that though. I think everybody sees it, was what you're saying, Jason.
It's not a good look. Yep.
All right, so let me go through some of these tweets again now that I have a second between super chats. If you want me to read your chats, send us a super chat and I'll read through it. I wrote, "This is sad. Biden is a zombie," and this is my most liked tweet of the night. I said, "Do you think that this is intentional?" And I would read some of the responses, but for some reason they're not loading. So I guess I'll just move on to the next one. And I just posted a picture of Trump talking and Biden staring at him. And I wrote the vacant stare, although I wrote the vacant state because I'm an idiot. So I'll just go ahead and delete that tweet. All right. No problem. Oh, man. See this clouds? This is crazy. All right. Hold on. Let me turn this back up. Sorry about that, folks. That's the problem with natural lighting. In Bali, you never know when a cloud's going to pass by. All right, so then the next tweet I wrote was the 1 minute time limit cuts Trump off and saves Biden from rambling every time. And I think this was an acute, I think this was an astute observation, an astute observation because, it was awful. Like every time Trump was making a great point, they'd cut him off. And then every time Biden would ramble and illustrate his incompetence, they would save him. And that's what that 1 minute time limit did. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Let's see here. MMA Fix wrote, I should push that here. Newsom thinking now, it's my time to shine. Yeah, that is totally what Newsom is thinking right now, 100%. All right. I also wrote at this point. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was just say this is a has-been actress, Ellen Barkin. She writes, CNN debate is a Trump campaign rally only sponsored by CNN.
Isn't that weird?
Now CNN is on Trump's side because Biden did so bad. Like,
yeah, no, I saw. I think I saw that.
Liberal leftists, think positively. He was standing throughout the whole debate.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was able to stand through the whole thing. Yeah, actress Ellen Barkin. That was from Breitbart. Gorka sent me that earlier in the night. So anyway, I also wrote. Okay, so now this is from my brother. This is actually my second most popular tweet. My brother tweeted me this. My brother Nick. He wrote, "At this point, I expect Joe Biden's closing remarks to be, look, guys, I can't compete with this. I resign." I thought that was quite funny, actually. And then this is something that Mark Lamont Hill. Okay, Gorka sent me this, and I thought it was astounding. Mark Lamont Hill, who has been like a far left radical for decades on CNN, he jumped in and he wrote on Twitter. He wrote, "Trump is officially whipping Biden's ass right now." And I wrote, wow, even hardcore leftists are admitting the truth here, which, that something is very, very obviously true, like so obvious it's impossible to ignore when people like Mark Lamont Hill are acknowledging the reality of it.
Because, I said it before the debate. Like most of the Democrat voters, they don't want Biden. Most of them want him replaced with somebody else. So obviously this is going to start coming out now, like after this debate. Like I think this gives them the opportunity to be like, get rid of him now, So
of course
they're already thinking it. They're already thinking it.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see if my theory holds up or if everybody else's theory holds up and they do replace Biden.
Well, the puppet masters, they're not going to get rid of him.
The puppet masters, they don't want that to happen. They want to keep him. No. John, $5 says, I don't know what that is. There's an emoji that I don't understand. That I don't know what that is. Real somethings everywhere are offended because Biden is a complete Bribden. I think I don't know what that's supposed to be. That I can't read that, man. I can't read.
Yeah, I can't either. I can see it.
Is it a mule? I don't know. All right, let's have a look at the next one. We've got a new super chat in here. Passengers Music 777, $10. Thank you. Says Biden did another horrible job trying to pander to blacks. I know. How bad was that? Oh, it was terrible. He says I was waiting for him to smear charcoal on his face and talk about growing up in Mississippi. Yeah.
But everything he said about helping blacks wasn't even anything that he did specifically for blacks, except the school thing. But Trump already did that,
Trump should have. I was shocked that Trump didn't mention that, or maybe he did and I wasn't paying attention. But because Trump, I think, gave more money to HBCUs than like literally any other president in history. So I don't know. Maybe he did mention that just like quickly or something.
Are you insane, Nose Redna? How dare you say that about me? I'm gonna come through this screen and Jason looks like Hunter. Oh God. Oh God, man. Chris, can you ban that person from this freaking
No, I like them. I think that's hilarious. Oh man, now I got the sun again. What's going on? Hold on a second.
It is funny.
That's too funny, man.
I guess I can see the likeness. I guess I see the likeness.
I will say you don't really look like Hunter. That's ridiculous. You have way better hair. Okay, so let's CRX Joe jumps in again. He says, Rando just asked if I was a millionaire. No, but I have 2 children that I want to have a better life than mine. Well, that is what every father should want for their kids. I believe my father was like, no way you're going to succeed more than me, bitch. No. My dad wasn't like that at all. That's me just trying to be funny here. All right. Stephen Rhodes jumps in with $5. He writes, as a Californian, I can tell you that Newsom is worse than Biden. He is the modern day Hubert Humphrey. Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I think Newsom is also actually a puppet, or totally like willing to be a puppet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be far more destructive, to be honest.
The
Look
problem
what he's done in California.
The problem is with Newsom, you cannot replace Kamala. You cannot replace her, man, because that's going to kill a lot of your demographic there, the black female vote, because they're going to take that as an offense, like them getting rid of a black woman.
You mean bringing him in as a vice president?
Bringing him in as replacing Biden with Newsom.
Oh, because you think they need to replace him with Kamala or with Michelle Obama?
Yep, it's the only way. It's the only way.
I think Michelle Obama is the best option, but I just don't see it happening. I think they're going to stick with Joe. It's crazy as it sounds. That's what I think. Okay, so then I jumped in here and because
the October surprise.
Listen. Biden did something that I actually predicted he wouldn't do, or I said I think it's possible he'll do it, but we talked about this in the pre-show. I was like, I would be shocked if he did this, because Snopes just debunked this "find people on both sides" hoax. Okay, come on, clouds, really? Sorry, folks. I'm so sorry. This is embarrassing. All right, let's get a little bit more light on my face. You don't have
an auto button there for that?
I didn't set it up that way because you and I both are like camera people, and we like manual.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't have a camera operator, so I got to jump in all the time. So the fine people on both sides hoax. Okay, where Trump said, white supremacists are fine people. Okay, he never said that, of course. But Joe Biden keeps talking about this. Actually, Scott Adams had a debate with Michael Ian Black about this. And Michael Ian Black kept picking him up on the point that Biden didn't specifically say that Trump said white supremacists were fine people, but it was implied, and that was the deception. The deception was that Trump said white supremacists are fine people, right? So I don't know why Scott Adams didn't say, well, look, that was what Trump, he was trying to deceive people into believing, because that's obviously true. But they kept arguing about the semantic points and the rhetoric, which was annoying in that debate. But the point is, Snopes just came out and debunked that. And Snopes is like a far left organization. Now, it took them, a million years to debunk it, but they finally done it. And so I thought there's no way Biden is going to immediately after Snopes debunks this, come out and repeat this ridiculous hoax. But he did. He came out. So I wrote, "Fine people on both sides hoax," really right after leftist Snopes finally debunked it. Biden's team is retarded. Yes, I used the R word, which I probably shouldn't use on this.
Yeah, because Trump did use
platform,
that against that argument.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, sorry. I'm going backwards instead of forward. John 44070, $10. Thank you so much, man. He says, did Trump really call him Brandon? Gotta love it. Did he? I think I missed that bit.
He did. I heard it. I heard. I was
okay,
like,
so Biden is saying illegal aliens. Oh gosh, I gotta fix the lighting again. Biden is saying, Biden's saying illegal aliens, and Trump's calling him Brandon. Could this debate have been better? Really? This is like gold all the way around. Let's go one more up. All right. I don't see any clouds coming, so I think I'm all right for a little while anyway. And then we've got Sven M jumping in again, $5. Thank you, Sven. And he writes, what would the procedure to replace Joe Biden be anyway? Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't think anything like that's ever happened before. That's the craziest thing, right? Dame Frodo Lives jumps in.
Gorka, can you text Chris and explain to us?
Yeah, tell us what that is. I think he's got his own shows that he's got to do.
Yeah.
Dame Frodo Lives jumps in, $2, and she writes, did you read mine? My favorite moment. Yes, I did read yours, and I'm going to get to it because I wrote the same thing on mine. You stole my thunder, Dame Frodo Lives, but I'll get to that. That's sort of the grand finale.
By the way, Chris, the Babylon Bee, Trump indicted for murdering elderly man on CNN.
Live on TV. Murdered Joe Biden. I love that. That's too funny. All right, Dame Frodo Lives. I did read yours. You can go back and watch it. But we're going to cover it again in a little bit. All right. So then I wrote, because this is crazy. Cassie Hunt. I don't know if you guys remember this. Cassie Hunt, or Casey, I think it's Cassie, was the chick who Biden had one of his spokespeople come on CNN, right? Because they were trying to seem like they were, neutral and fair. So they brought in a Trump spokesperson, and this woman comes on, Trump girl comes on, and this girl Cassie Hunt, a reporter, which people keep noting that her first initial is K and her last name's Hunt, which is hilarious. She basically was like, "You're not allowed to criticize Jake Tapper, right? Jake Tapper's a moderator." And this Trump representative was saying, look, we're a little bit concerned that Jake Tapper might be biased because he said a lot of horrible things about Trump in the past. And he's clearly like pro-Biden, hates Trump. And this woman, Cassie Hunt's like, no, you do not say bad things about my man, Jake Tapper. And she like cut her off. She like cut the Trump representative off. So exactly what they were promising to be, which is, neutral, they were illustrating that they were absolutely not. They were totally biased. You're not allowed to criticize the moderators here on CNN. And even she tweeted, this is crazy. She tweeted, the voice, this is about Biden, the voice, open-mouthed look, and visual contrast between President Biden and former President Trump all have Democrats I'm talking to nearly beside themselves watching this debate. So, even these, like I say, these like hardcore far left Democrats are like, whoa, what the hell is happening here? This is not good. So I wrote, even the crazy CNN reporter who cut off Trump's spokesperson recognizes the total decimation of Joe Biden. And I think that that's what this debate should be called in the history books, the total decimation of Joe Biden. I think that's what the 2024. Jason, you okay there? Got this.
Yeah. No,
you got a Joe Biden like vacant stare.
No, I'm going through tweets trying to find some interesting X post.
I know. I'm just mocking you mercilessly because that's what I do. I also wrote, even Biden's boilerplate points are weak because of his zombified delivery. And then I wrote, people will never again cite the Kennedy-Nixon debate as the best example of TV massively swaying the vote. It will forever be the obliteration of Joe Biden in 2024. All right, we've got a new super chat. If you want me to read your super chats, please send them. Doesn't have to be much money. A buck or two will do, and I will see your super chat highlighted. Let's see here. CRX Joe, $2. He says, "Have a good night. Love your show." All right, CRX Joe, it was great having you. Thanks for all the super chats. We appreciate your input. You are awesome, dude. Get some sleep. All right, so I then wrote, now this was crazy because on the first commercial break, I thought, okay, this is going to be the chance. This is the one prediction that I missed, okay, which was I thought they were going to pump Joe full of drugs. I thought he was going to be good to go. They did not, or I don't know what happened. Like Jason says, he thinks the drugs just don't work anymore. I don't know what happened, but just at the gun show, the anti-gun group, whatever, Joe Biden was great. And that was fairly recently. So I don't know what's going on. I don't think that the drugs don't work. I don't know. They just maybe didn't give them to him. I don't know what was going on. But I thought for sure they'd give him drugs at the beginning, give him drugs at the first commercial break, give him drugs at the second commercial break, and then he'd sort of like be good the whole time, right? I don't know what happened. So first commercial break, I wrote commercial break, time for Biden's first injection. And then a little bit later, I wrote, apparently not.
Well, I think it didn't kick in. I think they did it too late or something because in the beginning, because he kind of woke up a little during the debate. But because in the beginning it was I was like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, right. But so I think the drugs kicked in a little more, but I just think the drugs didn't have an effect as they thought it would.
Here's my theory. This is my theory that I'm just coming up with right now, guys. So maybe I'm wrong. You guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments. I think so. When Biden first started talking, people noticed Biden sounded weird. Like that was Sebastian Gorka's first tweet is like, what's up with Biden's voice? And I wrote Sebastian Gorka back.
Hold on, Trump. Maybe they gave him too much drugs. Yeah. Maybe it was too high.
Mess him up. Yeah. Well, so here's my response to Gorka, which has just clicked to me, might have been part of this. I said, well, maybe he's just got a cold, right? That was my perception of it. Now, if Joe Biden has some kind of cold, or if Joe Biden has COVID, or if Joe Biden has some kind of immune suppressing issue going on right now, they might not have been able to give him those drugs They might have been, you know what? These might kill him. Like, I don't think we can afford to give him the drugs. Like, we can't do it. You know, I think we're kind of screwed. So that might have been what happened, because you notice his voice sounded really weird.
It was hoarse. Yeah.
Like yeah, it was kind of like this. So I think maybe he's sick, and so that's maybe why they couldn't give him the drugs. That's just the theory I just popped into my head. I don't know what you guys think.
I 100% he was on drugs, and yeah,
maybe
it's either they gave him too much or they gave it to him too late, thinking that, you know, he needs it right before the debate, and it kicked in a little later. But he's probably like, right now, he's probably like wired. He's probably telling Jill, like, man, I wish the debate was right now. I'm perfect now.
Because they finally, the drugs are finally kicked in. That's pretty funny stuff. All right, so, oh God, I can't get why are my tweets not loading? Did Twitter crash? Did X crash? Or is this this like my Wi-Fi not working or something like that? Can you load Twitter?
Yep. I'm in it.
All right. Can you read my tweets? Because I can't find them now.
All right, let me grab them. Hold on.
Posts aren't loading right now. Try again. Screw you, X. So mean to me. In the meantime, I will read another super chat. Because I just got to the best tweet, my best tweet, the tweet that I love the most anyway, which was, I think, the mic drop moment of the night. I could probably actually read it on here on the screen. But anyway, Aaron Nelson jumps in. He writes, Biden's handler said, "You've got to sound more like RFK," and he took it literally. Because RFK has a kind of like voice issue. He's got like some kind of problem with his voice. Okay, Jason's obviously not paying attention here.
I'm trying
Big
to get
Lou 85. Tweet. No, I'll pop my own stuff up here. Big
right.
Lou 85 writes, news is already covering, says Joe was sick. Oh, okay, so I was right. Holy crap, you guys. I'm not only good at predicting stuff, I'm a genius in every conceivable way.
You hear what he's saying? It's covering. I agree. They're just covering.
Oh, of course he's covering. Of course he's covering. But it may also be true. It may also be true. I think
they would have said it before. They would have said it before, because just in case. So
maybe. All right. So one of my last tweets of the night, and this is one of my biggest tweets. It's done really, really well. I wrote, and this is in quotations because this is a quote from Trump. I wish he were a great president. I wrote, mic drop moment, best line of the night. And I really think that, I mean, that was a phenomenal, I was so brilliant of Trump to say that. Because like I said before, and obviously Dame Frodo Liz mentioned this as well. She noticed it as well. This was such a great moment because he's not saying that he wants to be president. He's not saying, you know, Biden's an idiot. He's not really an attack, right? He's not saying I hate this guy. What he's saying is, I just want America to be great. I don't care who's president. It could be this guy. It could be Joe Biden. I wish he was a great president, because then I wouldn't have to do this. I don't want to run for president. I don't want to have to do this. But somebody needs to save the country, and it's not going to be him. He's proven that he can't do it. So this was more, like I said before, the worst thing your father can say to you is not, I hate you, son. It's, I'm disappointed. That's like the most like heart-wrenching thing to hear your father say, that he's disappointed. And that's what Trump is saying to Biden. And it was just such a brutal hit. It was like the most brutal. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know if it was Trump himself. I don't know if it was somebody on his team, but it was brilliant. Best line of the night. Hands down, I think.
I think that's. I think that was a spontaneous thing. I think he just came up with that at that moment.
It sounded spontaneous. Totally. Let me read a few things from my brother. Okay, this is my brother John. It's not my brother Nick has been writing, but this is from my brother John. He wrote. Let's see here. Crazy. CNN entire panel is talking about replacing Biden. MSNBC sounds like they are still trying to make some lemonade out of this. Now, my brother says this is not good. They will have him replaced in the next 2 weeks. Then they can pump Gavin or Michelle for 18 weeks nonstop coverage. Yeah, that's the general consensus. I think that's what a lot of people think is going to happen. Again, I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. And then my brother writes, if Dems were smart, they would convince Kennedy to run on a combined Democrat independent ticket. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think they're going to do that though, but that would be a smart thing to do.
It's going to be. I'm telling you.
Okay, I also wrote, and this is misspelled. I don't know how it got misspelled. This is obviously a typo because I know how to. Gosh darn it! I hate when that happens. Now I have to delete this stupid tweet. Elon Musk, just let us edit tweets forever, please, because this is so
I hate
dumb.
that. I hate that. I'm horrible at spelling and all that, and I have to delete my messages all the time because my texts, because I freaking can't edit.
I'm good at spelling, and I still because the way that I use my keyboard, it sometimes autocorrects wrong. So I wrote Trump won the moment Biden spoke, but I spelled one WNE. Okay, that tweet's getting deleted. So anyway, that was the last tweet that I'm gonna redo that tweet. I can't believe that messed up like that. All right, but let me go ahead and see. There's a couple more super chats right here. So we've got one from Mr. Grumblier, $5 Canadian. $5 Canadian. How cheap? I'm just messing with you. And he writes, the press pool was advised before the debate began that Joe Biden had a cold. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I think he did have a cold, and I think that's why they couldn't give him the drugs. I think that's Chris, right. I think that's right.
You got to feel for him. Trudeau is running that country, so it's.
I know. Yeah. I'm surprised you could even afford $5, my friend.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That must have been half his salary.
I know how much I know how expensive it is. So thank you.
Yeah, for real. Dame Piglet jumps in $2. She writes, I missed Frodo, ? Dang it. FJB. I love you guys. Listen, does she think she was on the show or something? Does she think she was? She wasn't on the show.
She wasn't on the show tonight.
But we were just reading comments. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. My brother Nick writes, something doesn't sit right with me. The moderators really didn't get involved. They really let Trump dominate, let Biden look like a fool. I don't know. Something is off. I can't quite put my finger on it. Look, I think it's as simple as, Joe Biden had a cold, so they couldn't pump him full of drugs. That's what I think. That's my theory, and I might be wrong, but I called it even before I found out he actually had a cold. So I think I got it right. Let's see here. Proud Infidel says, what was with Sleepy Joe's head? Did you see his forehead? Unreal wrinkles. Well, I think it's been known for quite a while. People have been talking about this for quite a while, that Joe Biden injects Botox because they're trying to make him look younger. You know how he's always trying to run, but he can't. Like what I just did is like way more advanced than what Joe Biden. His run's kind of like it's hard to. I can't even mimic it. It's so bad. Let me retweet my. There, WON. I know how to spell one. Joe Biden spoke. Okay. There we go. Trump won the moment Joe Biden spoke. If you're not following me on Twitter, please join Twitter and follow me at Mr. Reagan USA. And if you're not following Jason, please follow Jason. I don't know what Jason's thing is on Twitter. What is your thing?
Mine is Jason at Jason T. Labrada, LABRADA.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the lighting up here. All right, Jason.
I'm gonna look up because I'm curious. I want to know if they can actually replace Biden.
Okay.
Now,
it's a good question. It's a good question. We got another super chat in here, so let me read this. This is from Big Lou 85. He writes, it's too late to replace Biden. Dems can't get anyone else on the ballot. This is this late in the game. I could be wrong, though. They'll probably just change the rules again like last year. I mean, that's the thing. I don't understand. I don't know how they would do it. I just don't know how they would do it. I mean, they've got so much invested in this. But, man, this was a disaster. So, like I said, I've held this line. I've held this opinion for a long time that they're not going to replace Joe Biden. But after this, it's hard to believe that they would keep him. You know what I mean? When you look stuff up, Jason, the show kind of stops.
Yeah.
Comes to like a screeching halt. It's not the best. It's not the best thing to do.
These people, they don't give a, like, I type in, can Biden be replaced.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't remember
all
giving you
this crap.
permission to look stuff up. Okay, I don't remember giving you permission. All right, let's see here. Dame Piglet jumps in. She says Biden looked like a waxy corpse. No exaggeration. Well, that's the thing. His face is like weird, right? Because of the Botox, and then
the plugs,
because
the plugs.
Oh, does he have hair plugs? I
Oh,
didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
completely
that
bald.
makes sense actually. He was more bald, yeah. And I don't think he got the good ones because there's some good ones now. I met some guys that have hair plugs that look, I mean, legit. They look like, you know, they've got a full head of hair. But yeah, his look kind of scraggly and nasty. But he's you know, he's got two problems essentially. I guess with the hair plugs, three. But he's got the Botox issue, and then he's got the dementia. So he's got this sort of blank stare. And he's got like this waxy looking face because he's got, you know, he can't move all of his muscles. And then there's almost like a deterioration of his face. Like I think that he's so old that is actually like his muscle tissue and stuff is deteriorating. Whereas Trump actually looks pretty good. I mean, I would say Trump looks like maybe 20 years younger than he actually is, which I don't really know how he does that. But, you know, good genes, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Looks great. MMA Fix jumps in. He says, "You killed it tonight, boys. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and I can't promise I'll catch the next two shows, but I'm still free to guest on the 8th. Just let me know." Okay. Oh, that's amazing. We never even. Why don't you DM me? Because we will literally have you.
No,
on,
I'm. You know, I didn't get a chance to message you, but we'll talk about it.
Oh, so MMA
he messaged you.
So he
yeah,
DM'd you. Okay, I didn't get. You didn't tell me that. All right. Now I'm in the loop. You know, I don't know. You know, they don't bother me with the little people stuff. No, I should know what's going on. I think, right? Why is everybody DMing him? He just DM me. I got my DMs open
because I'm relatable. I'm relatable, Chris.
You're the relatable one. Yeah, sure thing. Well, you know what? I don't know how the nation is going to react to this. I can tell you, you know, based on what everybody's telling me, CNN is panicking. MSNBC is still trying to make lemonade out of the massive lemon of this Biden performance. But how are people going to react? Before the debate, I saw people saying that they weren't 100% sure they were still going to vote for Biden. I'm talking about Biden supporters were saying that they were disappointed in Biden. They didn't know if they were still going to vote for him. And we're talking about like blacks, Latinos, people like that. So I think at this point, you know, people want to vote for a winner. People want to get behind someone they can get excited about. And people don't hate Trump anymore. You know, this thing where they used to be like, oh, Trump's the evil dictator or whatever. I don't think they're buying that anymore. They remember the good times. They remember back before COVID when Trump was president, like everything was like normal, you know. And I think they're looking at this and they're going, you know what? It's not. We don't necessarily hate Trump anymore. We don't necessarily want to keep him away. You know, they do see that there's corruption. They do see because like the courts are corrupt and like Trump didn't really do anything wrong and they convicted him, you know, of 34 counts and he's like found liable for sexual assault that he obviously didn't commit. So I think people are like, wow, you know, is this the America we really want to live in? Maybe Trump really wasn't that bad. Maybe actually the Republicans were right about all of this. So I think people kind of come around. And even if they're not 100% sure, I think that they're willing to just stay home and not vote. And so I think that it's done. I think this sealed the deal. That's what I think. Yeah. I think that this was the final nail in the coffin, and Trump will be victorious in November by a massive landslide, maybe one of the biggest landslides in presidential history.
If they let us know about it.
There's a nihilist I've grown to love.
I was gonna say, I think with my understanding from what I read so far, I think the only way Biden can be replaced is if he steps down, which is a possibility. If his puppets tell him you got to step down, he's gonna step down. I have no doubt about it. I think he's too messed up to be like fight against that. If he does fight against it, they're gonna be like, no, let's make him drop out. You know. Right. So I think that's the only way. And also, somebody asked me, Jason, what about B accusing T of molesting women? Biden accusing Trump of molesting women at public. That was a moment that Trump should have brought up the sleeping with children in bathrooms in showers.
Right. Oh, his daughter. Yeah. Look, you know, you can't. I mean, it was pretty perfect. It was pretty dang perfect performance from Trump. I mean, to nitpick is difficult. Look, I likened it to this. Anything that you might think, well, Trump wasn't at his very, very best in this debate. This is what I have to say about that. Have you ever played a sport, any kind of sport, whether it be tennis, which I love tennis, or, like, what is that game where you throw the bags of sand, cornhole, or golf, or whatever it might be, a silly game or a difficult game, whatever it might be, any kind of athletic thing. If you play with somebody who's better than you, it ups your game. You get on point. If you play somebody that's worse than you, it really reduces your ability to play that game.
Yeah.
Like I was playing the other day, tennis against these girls that were just awful. And they actually beat me. It was me and another girl who was also terrible. And these other two terrible girls.
I know why they beat you. You let them beat you.
No, I was trying. I was trying.
Russian? Were they Russian?
They were Ukrainian. Yeah, all of them were Ukrainian. But the thing is, I was playing so bad, because I just didn't care. They would hit the ball over, and I'd be like, I guess I got to go hit the ball. Boom, And I was just playing so badly, I didn't really care if I won a point or not because it was so easy. I think this is what was happening with Trump. I think he got to the point where he was just like us watching it. I think he was bored of being in it. I think it was starting to his game was starting to drop because Joe Biden was being so bad.
Yeah.
I think even Trump felt sorry for him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was a difficult debate for Trump because, how do you debate somebody who can barely speak? So I think any criticism of Trump is just silly at this point. Yeah, his game was brought down a little bit, but I mean, he won epically. This was probably the most, I would say, brutal debate victory / defeat in the history of presidential debates, probably ever. All right, I'm gonna fix my lighting.
Ever?
What do you think?
Well,
yeah,
I think
first.
I think Reagan's first debate when he first won. The first 4 years. Was
fair enough.
debate.
But I will say Reagan won against a formidable opponent by just being so awesome. And Trump won by being measured and good to go. And he faced an opponent that was, I mean, Biden would have done better if he just didn't say anything almost,
Yeah. But that's why I'm saying Reagan was the ultimate debate because
you're probably right. That's probably right.
Burned that opponent and it was an opponent that had his mind right. So
way to pedantically debate a point that didn't really need to be debated there, Jason. Let's just use a little hyperbole. Okay. Let's just use a little hyperbole. Make it a little bit more entertaining for the folks, Jason. This was the most significant obliteration of a candidate in a debate in presidential history. Isn't that right, Jason?
Check this out, audience. Mr. Reagan.
Jason, just say yes.
Mr. Reagan's not defending
Reagan.
Yes.
Yes, right. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
Yes, yeah. It was a blast. It was amazing. It was crazy.
It was a blowout. It was mental. All right. Well, we got 15 minutes left in the hour. If you guys got super chats, let us know. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap this up because what else is there to say other than, holy crap, this was insane. We got a super chat. It's from Joe. Thank you, Joe. $10. Joe says, this was an excuse for last-minute replacement. If Newsom comes in, it could be good. He's not been, I think he's saying, in the forefront, so people don't trust him, so they'll vote for Trump. Or it might be bad because he's a new and younger face, and then it might be easier to rig as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it'll be easier to rig because Newsom's a horrible candidate. But it'll be easier to rig, like you said.
Yeah. But look, I actually hope they keep Biden. That's me being a little bit of an optimist, because
same here. Yeah.
Trump's going to win, obviously.
Because I've always said they're going to put somebody else. Like my mind thought is Michelle. Although I do agree, like the puppets rather have Biden, and that's who I'd rather have. But yeah.
Look, I mean, it's not smart. It's smart to bring in Newsom. It's smart to bring in Kamala. It's smart to bring in. I mean, Kamala has like the worst approval ratings like in history of anyone ever in politics. Like she's terrible.
She's just like keeping Biden though. Like she's not going to do well.
So it's got to be Michelle or Gavin Newsom. I think either of them are going to be better than Biden.
Yeah, I'm afraid
either of them
Michelle.
are going to be better. Either of them are going to be better than Biden. So I think it's smart of them to swap them out. But I'm hoping they don't, and I don't think they will because, like I said, I think that they're too overconfident in their ability to rig, and I think that they love having that puppet.
Yep.
All right, Joe jumped in again. He says, "I hope they keep Biden, but think maliciously." No, exactly. Like if you want to think like a Democrat, you have to think maliciously. That's such a great point, Joe. Thank you so much for posting that. You want to go, Jason? You want to wrap it up? I feel bad leaving the people. I love these people. You're my people. We could keep it going for another 10 minutes. What do we think? What do we think? Here's the thing. I'm doing a video. It's not out yet. It's going to be out soon. I've had to hold it on pause because my sponsor hasn't approved it. Hasn't approved the ad yet. So it's been like a week. It's just been sitting there on my channel waiting to go out. But the show is, are they going to try to assassinate Donald Trump in prison? And the whole concept is, they're going to put Trump in prison, we think, right? They found him guilty on these felonies, whatever. It's not an unreasonable thing to think they might do. They're willing to do just about anything. They're willing to convict a man who's done nothing wrong of 34 counts of felonies because they don't want him to run for president. They're willing to put innocent people in prison because they walked casually through the Capitol building in a protest, in a totally legitimate protest, because they want to create the illusion that Donald Trump incited an insurrection, which is nonsense. They do all of these completely. They planted evidence in Mar-a-Lago. The FBI planted evidence in Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
I mean, of course, we know Epstein, totally killed himself, and there was no foul business there.
No doubt about
it. We know that that's nonsense. So if they do it to Epstein, they plant evidence in Mar-a-Lago. You got the illegal trial. You've got the illegal. They're spying on Trump's campaign. You got all this crap going on. Are they not willing to just assassinate Trump? I think they are. So this whole prison thing could be very, very dangerous. Anyway, a lot of people are worried about it because there was a bill proposed that said any convicted felon should not have Secret Service protection. They're trying to take his Secret Service protection away. The stuff they're willing to do is sickening, really sickening. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about how far they're going to go, especially now. I mean, what do you think, Jason? I mean, this is a pretty severe blow to the left, a severe blow to Joe Biden. I don't know how they're going to get out of this. I can't think of anything other than swap out the candidates, assassinate Trump. Those are the two things I can think of.
What's amazing is, which is kind of crazy, but they thought they could pull this off. They really did. They thought this was going to be the turning point, and it just didn't work out.
Maybe.
So, it was a risk they took. I'm actually shocked that they took this risk. I didn't believe they were going to do the debate. I really thought they were going to cancel or say no, they're not going to debate a felon, which would have been a smarter thing for them after tonight. So, but yes, on your point, they're willing to do everything. I've been saying this, and it's kind of scary as we get closer to November. It gets,
the fact that we're even mentioning this as a possibility is, to me, astonishing.
Yes.
How are we at this point where we're even talking about that?
Yep. It's
sick.
Incredible.
It's sick.
Yep.
The Love King gave us $5 and he writes, F it. Here's a $5 for y'all's content. Great work. Absolutely the greatest. All the others are suckers and losers.
I love it. I'm hearing the Trump voice. I'm hearing the Trump voice in that.
I know. Well, we love you, the Love King. You're awesome, man. And we appreciate all our fans. Everybody who's commenting. I know that there's kind of a pretty good community in the chat. Even if you're not talking to us, you're talking to each other. And sometimes it gets a little rowdy, but you guys are literally the best. I don't know if I'd call you guys even fans, because you're essentially peers. You guys come up with such brilliant ideas, smarter than me. You guys are like the best people on social media talking to us. So really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I do read I do read the chat, and I love it. Like the things that they say, and also like some of the things that our audience is smart, because some of the things they say actually helps us during the show, because
it helps us during the show, and half the time it's better than the crap I come up with, which is really annoying. But
like
but
I said,
all respect to you guys.
Like I said, you are the third host in the show, our audience. I wish it was the fourth host, but you are the third host tonight. So I thank all of you for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we lost a host for the last 2 shows. Hope we'll get him back soon. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not as bad as people might suspect. He's all good. He's just unable to do these last 2 shows. So he'll hopefully come back for the next one. We'll see how it goes. This was. Did anybody expect it to be this crazy? I thought for sure. I mean, we predicted at the beginning of the show, Biden is going to be better than you think. This was the first thing that I predicted, and it's the only thing I really got wrong. I think I got everything else spot on. I'm very impressed with myself. I'm going to sing my own praises once again, because I mean, how often are you this right about anything? I mean, I killed it, to be honest. But I was totally wrong about Joe Biden. I mean, in terms of all the specific points they made, I was right. But in terms of Joe Biden being better than you expect, Joe Biden was worse than I could have imagined.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked by this. I'm still blown away. I just don't even understand. Let me turn the lighting down real quick. One last.
Like I said again, I think it was bad on their end. It really was. But you know what? It could have been. I mean, can I say that now? It could have been worse. But yeah, it was shocking. It was shocking. It was.
Yeah, could it have been worse? I'm not sure it could have been. The only thing that could have been worse is if Biden halfway through the debate went, "Excuse me."
Yeah. I just think like keeping,
or if AOC jumped onto the stage.
Yeah. the only positive I could see on their side is that they pretty much kept the economy issue pretty mute. But I mean, just that doesn't even matter because just
you're really trying hard to find something.
I am. It's just how Biden was. It's just oh man. I
guess we can declare victory already. I mean, sheesh.
Well, we can't declare victory because people have to get out and vote. They got to
get out and vote, and they've got to make sure their votes count.
Yep.
And they've got to keep an eye open for cheating. Beat the cheat. I'm going to make the T-shirts. All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up. Jeez, I don't really want to wrap it up. We got 6 minutes left. We can last 6 more minutes, right? What kind of BS can we talk about?
Sure.
Your dad? I heard that your dad was going to be voting for Biden this year.
Who, me?
You're both your parents.
My dad and my mom. Yeah. Lifelong Republicans, but
lifelong
Republicans. But this year they're going to be voting Democrat.
Yeah. My grandparents as well. Everyone who has passed away, I believe, is going to be voting for Biden. Sadly, unfortunately,
they need all the support. You know,
they need all the support they can get. Well, you know, we just have to stop that stuff from happening. We joke, of course, but it's a real thing. I think it's a real thing. I think they're real. You know, of course.
I'm actually excited after this debate. I don't know. I think this is going to wake up a few people. I think a few people will wake up. You know what's exciting to me? You know what I'm so excited about? I want to see what the Democrats do now. Like there's going to be this thing like get rid of Biden. Like this is going to be entertainment for weeks. Like bust out the chips, people. This is going to be good.
I know. And I haven't been this happy about politics in a long time. Because it was just so much better than I expected. I still kind of feel bad for Biden, weirdly.
No, I don't. I'm over that.
My innate humanity, I guess. I don't know. Let's see here. We've got the Grumblier, or Mr. Grumblier. Sorry, Mr. Grumblier comes back with another Canadian $5. And he goes, "Here's another 2 USD." I love that he goes along with that joke, you know. And he goes, "I wonder if the Dems set Biden up in order to replace him." Well, that's the question, right? I mean, I wrote that in one of my tweets. What do you guys think this was intentional? And so many people think that. And I'm getting texts from my brother saying that. I'm getting, I think everybody thinks this.
A lot of people were saying that. You
this
said
is the general consensus, but
I think after tonight, from the performance, I don't think they planned that, but after tonight, that's going to be a big talking point for their side.
They might even, even people
by the
who
way-
were like dead set on Biden might pivot now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, Chris, don't feel bad for him. Right now, he doesn't remember a thing.
No, he's a crook. Yeah, for sure. No, he's a crook, man. He took bribes. He sold out our country. The man deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But it's just
he
like
doesn't remember a thing.
Somebody...
Right now he's probably in bed. And they're telling him, "Oh, you did great. You did great." Oh, yeah. So it's all good.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he can't be publicly humiliated if he has no self-awareness at all. If he has no ability to cognitively process what's happened. But could you imagine like bombing that badly in front of? Gosh, I mean, this must have been. I want to know how big this was. How many people watched?
I would love to be a fly on the wall right now in whoever the campaign people that got him ready for this. Right. Like, I would love to know what they're saying, what they're doing right now. It must be wild.
The
right
Biden
now.
campaign, yeah.
I
mean, they're popping the champagne over at Trump headquarters. I can tell you that. I want to know how many people watched the debate because I'm curious to see how many minds would have been changed.
Yeah, it's true though. Like, this is actually bad. Like, they saw Biden the way he was. Like, what is our enemies? What are other countries? I'm thinking right now. Like, okay, we better put full throttle onto like what we need to do before Trump takes over again. And while Biden is still like out there, think about it. Like, I don't know, these next few months are going to be very important for the world.
Oh, I'm asking Grok how many people watched the debate, and it's giving me like 2020. People watched the 2024 presidential debate. There we go. Let's see if he can come up with that. I don't know if those numbers are out yet or if anybody has any kind of approximation, but I would love to know. Let's see here. The Love King jumped back in and writes, remember, folks, Biden once said, if you don't vote for him, you are not black. Also, let kids fondle his curly hairs at the pool. He also said, he said, poor kids are just as smart as white kids, which is one of my favorite Joe Biden quotes of all time. He then, Joe jumps in for $2. He says, next fight cometh. How do we stage for the next one? How do we stage for the next one? Like, how do we prepare for the next one? And I don't know what fight you're talking about and I'm not sure I want to know what fight you're talking about, Joe. Eric Wade jumps in, $5. He says, if you don't know whether to vote for me or Trump, then you are not flubba bubba snuffleupagus. Oh, pause, end of line. And that is a direct quote from Brandon, I believe. Fair enough. That is, thank you so much for that. A light bit of humor at the end of the broadcast. It is now the end of the show. I love that we ended on a humorous super chat. What do you think, Jason? Any final words?
MAGA. Let's make America great again. Good job. Good job, Trump. Bad job, Biden. And I'm just grateful that President Trump looked and sounded presidential. He was really the best man on stage. He showed the country that he can be presidential. He can, not go off script and do good. I mean, what else can I say? I really can't say anything.
You see this?
I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked about what happened that I have no words.
Jason, look at the screen. This lighting is presidential.
It is. All you need is a seal behind you.
I know, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, it's not that all liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much. That is not so. Thank you all for watching. This was a spectacular debate. I, for one, am very happy with my pre-debate speculation and predictions because they all came true. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a congratulations. And thank you, Jason, for being awesome. I love your commentary. And thank you our audience, who is the best
Yes.
audience of any social media whatsoever. You guys are always fantastic. Thank you to my brothers for chiming in so much, and Sebastian Gorka for talking to me about all this stuff. And it's going to be fun going on from here, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you on Thursday. Good night.